What's going on, everybody? It's your boy MJ Media. This is Kovu, and he made me buy the brand new DJI RS4. But was it worth upgrading from my DJI RS2? Let's get it.
Okay, I was gone for a minute, but I'm back now.
The RS4 is a brand new drop from DJI, and they've been doing the gimbal thing since the beginning, know what I'm saying? So with this brand new iteration, they have new features and way better improvements over the previous models. And for me, in order for me to want to upgrade to something, it's got to be more than just slight differences. So here are the top 5 reasons that I upgraded to the DJI RS4 and why you may want to as well. Now, before I begin, it's very important for me to say that DJI did not sponsor this video at all. They didn't send me these gimbals to test. I bought these with my own money. I emailed DJI to test the gimbals. They looked at me, they said ill, and blocked me, and that had no effect on my self-esteem at all. So first up, we have improved stability and balance. Now, we all know that one of the most difficult things about having a gimbal is balancing the gimbal and the gimbal remaining balanced, because that ninja walk feels great for the first 15 to 20 minutes. And then afterwards, you start regretting your life decisions. And then you have to rebalance the gimbal and make those micro adjustments every time you want to change lenses and things like that. And I can't be the only one that prefers to have a zoom lens on the gimbal so I can mitigate having to go through that whole process. So the RS4 not only comes with upgraded stability system, which is great for those smooth shots, but it also comes with a new coating, which makes micro adjustments easier, because let's be honest, the old RS2, it used to stick a little bit when you're trying to do those micro adjustments, and then you end up over adjusting. Now you got to go back to square one, and don't nobody want to do that. All right, so let's talk about wireless functionality. For me, the number one thing that I hate in my life are cords and cables. Hate them. They're messy, they're cluttery. Is cluttery a word? They're just not sexy.
Not sexy, player. I know, man. Sexy.
However, DJI looks like they found a way around it by using improved connectivity features and Bluetooth functionality to wirelessly connect almost all of the camera's functions directly into the gimbal itself. With the RS2, in order to get the full functionality from the camera and the gimbal working together, you had to have so many cords connected to it. It looked like you was trying to give it life support, and it didn't work as well, and it didn't look as aesthetically pleasing. And don't even get me started on trying to go handheld with this thing, because that's just a whole other issue I don't want to talk about. But I like the simplicity of this solution, because it's less things that you have to keep track of, less cables that could disconnect at the wrong times. And as long as you have a strong Bluetooth connection, you should be perfectly fine. Not to mention the fact that it makes these newer cameras work towards their full potential, which is more than I can say for somebody else. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Next up, we have horizontal to vertical filmmaking. This new horizontal to vertical design isn't new, it's just improved. They had something similar in the RS3, but nothing as good as what they have in the RS4. Now, I know it's kind of taboo, but I haven't really been using the vertical mode on the RS2, and that's just because it was just too much. It was too complex. It was so much going on. You had to buy extra pieces, and it was just a hassle. Now, if I was shooting vertical content only that day or for that shoot, it would have been fine-ish. But if I wanted to go from horizontal to vertical to get some social media content back to horizontal, that was just way too, I'm not doing that. You had to dang near perform surgery on the RS2 in order to get it from horizontal to vertical and then back to horizontal. It's just too much, and it takes up too much time. Now with the RS4, the ease of just loosening the mount, pressing these buttons, and then taking off the entire arm and rotating the camera around for vertical and then back is just beautiful. You don't have to take off any pieces that you have a fear of losing, and it's such a fast and easy process. They have really thought of everything when they were building this. Now, I know people will be like, oh, well, you can always just use a rotating plate. That's not the point, okay? It's not the point. Next up, we have the auto lock and improved grip. Not only does this feel good in the hand, no diddy, but it also has an auto lock feature that I realized I can't live without. Now, the first time it happened, I thought it was broken. I thought it like just shut off and I was freaking out. But after a while of using it, I'm like, yo, this is dope. Sometimes I just do it just because it ends flush with the entire gimbal, which, I mean, doesn't sound like a big deal, but I have a weird symmetry obsession, and if things just look a little bit crooked, it makes me want to commit violence. So I just love how they've orchestrated it and like whatever algorithm they're using, because math, brilliant. Now with this comes less gaps, and with less gaps, you have less wiggle room when you're locked. Now, it's not a huge deal, but it's just annoying when you're locked, the gimbal is locked and you still hear that rattling sound, you know what I'm saying? Plus the RS2 doesn't, you have to manually lock the RS2. There is no auto lock, and if you want it flush, you're gonna have to adjust the arms, and then you're gonna have to rebalance it when you get to the next place that you wanna go. That was annoying, okay? So I much prefer this function over that. Also, with less gaps, that means you have a stronger grip, and I don't mean the hand grip on the gimbal, although that's nice too, but what I mean is that the arms are gripped tighter on the gimbal, so there's less movement happening. So one of my main complaints with the RS2 was that after a bit of use, the grip has loosened quite a bit actually. I would set the gimbal up and dial in the balance, but after a bit, the balance arms would slide and even shift, even though they were locked and tightened, which is just extremely annoying, especially when you're trying to get the smoothest shots possible, and it tends to throw the balance off, which would make the gimbal spaz out. And speaking of spazzing out, if you're enjoying this video and the content that I create, please go ahead and spaz out on that like button, hit that subscribe button, and make sure to share this with your family and friends. It would really mean a lot to Kovu for all his hard work. Right, Kovu? That's right. Now, number 5, we have the focus motor. Now, I'm extremely excited about the focus motor that's included in the RS4 combo kit. I've had like one focus motor before, and it didn't work out very well. I didn't have a good time. I didn't have any fun. So I have high hopes, because from what I've experienced so far, I'm gonna really like this motor. I'm also really excited to see how the joystick functionality works with the focus motor, because now they've changed it to where the focus motor can be controlled by the joystick as well with a switch of a button. So the joystick can control the gimbal, and then with a switch of the button, it can also control the focus motor, which also limits the amount of weight that you have to put on the gimbal, because you don't have to add a bunch of extra attachments just to operate one or the other. Like, it's all like internally built, and like, I'm super hype about this because this opens up so many more possibilities, especially for zoom lenses and cinema lens functionality. And as a solo creator, and using it with the LiDAR system actually like may make this thing a beast. And the fact that it comes included in the combo kit and you don't have to make a separate purchase or go to a third party, I think that's really great. And it's amazing to make this already compact gimbal more compact than the RS2 even, with even more attachments and accessories, this jam-packed with features. So there you guys have it. Those are my top 5 reasons for going from the RS2 to the RS4, no diff. Now, if these improvements seem worth it to you, you can pick up the RS4 for about $550 starting off. But if you need more battery life, more capabilities, and you're not affected by a higher price tag, then you can also go for the RS4 Pro, which starts at about $870. So do whatever works for you and your situation and your workflow. Or if you're not planning to upgrade at all, that's cool too. Let me know in the comments section below if you're making that leap or if you're not, all right? But as for me, I'm gonna chase Kovu around with this thing because it's fun. So until next time, guys, I will catch y'all in the next video. Say bye, Kovu. Peace.